Seattle Sounders 0, Vancouver Whitecaps 0, and that is the way the game ended tonight between the two Cascadia rivals. Sounders really kind of needed to win this game, not to get in the playoffs. Obviously, we talked about last time. This was kind of more from the playoff seeding. So Russell to my left, and obviously John Marshall to my right. 0-0.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly. That what you really wanted was a win. The Cascadia Cup was off the table. You already clinched, so the win was to help with home field advantage. So it's a disappointing, drop of points, and we'll talk about who we got next. But it's a disappointing result here.
Why was it disappointing? What made it disappointing?
Well, I think it's a game that the Sounders look at on paper and think that this is something that they should be winning. I think it's a game that they intended or felt that they could have and should have taken all 3 points from. I think coming away with just a draw, although it was a very effective defensive performance from the Sounders, to not get on the score sheet tonight, I think that's in itself is the biggest disappointment.
Right, so that's different from, they can say they wanted to win this game, but on paper, I think most of us knew that a draw, and I talked to some of the people that potentially the team that was informed, especially Vancouver, they're coming off a 3-0 win over St. Louis, who is on top there. So, okay, what is stagnating the offense?
We talked about it. There's a bunch of different things. I think not having Raul out there, Jordan is not a natural 9. We talked about the runners in the box. I mean, there's several different factors, and I think not having a consistent cast of attackers. Christian's just coming back. You talked about Raul not being there. Hebert, I think, is starting to play a lot better, but still not at his best form. So I think there's a bunch of different factors. So to pinpoint just one is kind of tough.
I think Smetzer should have played, to your point, in terms of consistency, the same cast. I would have played Albert Rusnak. We played him last game. I would have played him this game. And so the one player that he did start this game, that he started last game, was Josh Atencio. And so what did you see from him?
I liked how Josh Atencio did a real good job moving back side to side on the back defense, helping to really close down the midfield, clog up passing lanes, make it really tough for Brian White and Ryan Gauld to get the ball at their feet. I thought he did a really good job with that. Spencer mentioned that he, compared to Obed, brings a little bit more of a height advantage. He's a little bit better on headers because of that. Been adding that to his game. I think he had a real solid night tonight.
All right, so let's do this. Let's hear from Josh Atencio and Brian Smetzer.
Man of the people. Okay, we'll start here front row. Jeremiah O'Shan. Mike is coming to you.
Are you more encouraged by keeping a shutout or by failing to score? Discouraged by or dropping by 2 points and being?
Yeah. You know me, I'm kind of a hate to lose type of guy. That maybe Christian had another little bit of magic there at the end with his header. I like that part of it because he went up with no hesitation. The header at the end, and the goalkeeper makes a good save. I think we put them under pressure in the second half, Jeremiah, but yeah, it doesn't really do us any good. I mean, we needed the 3 points. So, Steph's 13 shutouts. Alex was prepping me. I mean, it ties his single season record from 2017. Steph is going to tell you that it's a team sport and he has a lot of help, which I agree with. I think the defense was good again today. So those are some positives, but it again feels like a couple of points that we might need down the stretch.
All right, we'll come back to the front row here to Mons.
Okay, I'm just trying to go on the positive, but you shut out White. I mean, 0 shots on goal. What was it about? Because all this week you talked about closing out and stopping the opposition from that space. What were you guys able to do today, and what critical part did Josh Atencio play in that?
Well, I think Josh and JP did a good job, along with Jackson and Yanmar. Brian White's a really talented player, and their long balls and then picking up second balls, that's where Vancouver has a lot of success, because Ryan Gould's movement off of Brian White is really good. You know, they have counter movements. Gould always seems to pick the ball up in, you know, certain moments. So credit to Josh, credit to JP, Ymar and Jackson. It was a battle, you know, but again, you know, it takes a full team. I thought Jordan's pressure higher up the field was good tonight. You know, Christian getting through another 90 minutes, his effort and application. I thought we were able to put pressure up here fairly well to prevent some of those passes.
All right, we'll go to John next. Middle row there, yeah.
Brian, this year's home record for goals was an average of 1 goal per game, which is the lowest in the club's MLS era. I'm wondering, as you look towards the playoffs and potentially having home field games in the playoffs, what needs to change to make the attack more effective?
Well, I mean, not having Raul for large parts of the year certainly hurts. Not having Christian for large parts of the year certainly hurts. I thought Hebert has actually showed a bit of form recently. I'm happy about that. Jordan obviously playing as a 9 versus playing out on the wing. You know, that's something we need to revisit maybe. But, you know, I think it all comes down to guys executing. And, you know, sometimes you gotta give credit to your opponent. I thought Vancouver played a strong game defensively. Their goalkeeper was on form, saved him a couple times. The other thing that we're gonna start working on is, again, I think we've been pretty good in this stat, but set pieces in playoff games when games are tight, you know, maybe we need to throw a few more wrinkles there. Just make sure we're getting some good chances from that part of the game.
You know, it's awesome to be able to get contributing minutes to, you know, help the team get results. You know, the whole time I was on the sidelines for a while, and that whole time I was just, you know, dreaming of getting on the field and helping the team get results. So, you know, me and Joust start with me on the right side and him in the middle, so that he can kind of defend more and I can kind of flex higher, because Nico is left-footed, so he wants to be on the left side. Sometimes through the run of play, me and Joust switch, but I think it's fine. You know, if he's higher up and I'm the deeper lying midfielder a little bit, you know, Jow can get into the attack, and we saw a couple times in both halves today where Jow was able to get up the field and I could cover for him and he could do things in the attack. So I think us switching is more just a result of things happening in the run of play and me, you know, ending up on the left side and us just knowing where each other are and where we need to be to balance off each other.
I guess that's it. How important is it now in the familiarity you all have just to be able to organically do that?
I think it's really important. I think you know, any midfield can't be static and stuck to, you know, like I need to be in this position, he needs to be in this position. If we can be more free flowing, it's going to be a lot harder for the defending midfielder, the other team, to know where they need to be and who they need to pick up.
On defense, how are you guys able to kind of, you know, shut down Vancouver's two prolific, you know, Gould and also White? I mean, they play two strikers, which is a different aspect. How were you able to defend that so well?
I think it's a matter of the whole team being on the same page. You know, everyone won a lot of balls today. Jackson and Ymar won a lot of balls. I feel like me and Zhao won a lot of balls, and the forwards were making our lives really easy and making the game predictable for us, and the center backs were doing a really good job of staying high and counter-pressing well and not giving them any space to breathe.
It's a testy affair on both sides. But they played well. Vancouver played well, but we played okay as well. And it was just a constant struggle of trying to create some stuff. And I would reckon we forced our keeper to make a couple of decent saves. For us, I think they nicked the post once against us, and that was it. Other than that, we kept it really clean. Weird one for me personally, because usually you want to find a way into the game, and I mean, I didn't even have to hit a pass today, so it was like and I never found a way into the game. It was very uncomfortable in a way, but I'm not complaining. It's a testament to the guys again in front of me to just make it an easy evening for me. And shutouts are good. Obviously, we want to be able to take advantage of them and maybe find one goal or even more on the other side, but it's fine.
You tied the club record that you set for shutouts in a season. What does that mean to you?
That's my job, is to try to keep the ball out of the back of the net, and it's a stat again that goes to a goalkeeper all the time. But without good teammates in front of you, there's nothing you're going to be doing. Shutouts are so fragile. I say this all the time. It's true. You can have people have an incredible game, and there's one tiny little deflection or something that goes not your way, and there it goes, right? So, but yeah, I think the one thing that is this season. I mean, we're not done yet, but that stands out to me is that we were able to get 10 and 20. That's something we should have tried to build on, capitalize on more, and then build upon further. Now we're at what, 13? You said. So it was a struggle to get those last three. Again, not complaining. I think we did quite well, but maybe we could have taken more advantage of that a bit, right? But.
Okay, there you heard it, Brian Smetzer, and you heard a little bit of a lot of Brian Smetzer and Josh Atencio, but we want to make it unique so that you're there in the locker room, and so you heard kind of John's questioning there as well. But all right, so that's fine. Where do you go from here? What has to happen? Stefan Frei, let's talk about that for a second. I was going to say Stefan Frei, he said he was struggling because he wasn't in the offensive part of it. But so we give credit to his performance.
Yeah, tied shutout record, his own record from 2017, I believe we fact checked. And again, he gives credit. Shutout, it goes to the keeper, but he perfectly said it goes to everybody in front of him as well, playing so well. And he's really been. You can talk about Nico, him being those constants as of late. You can throw Jordan Morris, Christian in there as well. But they've been here for so long of so much of this winning. So to see him yet again reach that mark has been amazing. And, without him back there, who knows how many shutouts this team has. But, he was not amazing today because, as he said, there wasn't a lot of him to do today or a lot for him to do today. But still, having him back there has been, a blessing to this team.
Yeah, and we did show you the video. I just didn't say that we showed you the video that you saw, but we just didn't say it. So where do they need to go from here?
Well, it would be nice to have Raul back healthy. That's still a big question mark at this point in time. Now there is 2 weeks until St. Louis, so maybe he has time to get healthy then. I would say we're planning on not expecting him in that St. Louis game, just if his recent history is anything to lean on here. So I'm thinking it's probably still going to be Morris up top. I really want to see a little bit more production from him. I think the Sounders tonight did a really good job of getting up the wings, getting to the goal line, and then getting a ball back into the middle, but didn't have, as we kind of mentioned, the second runners, the third runner in the box to find for that pass. I think Jordan tonight was a step or two late. And I want to see him and another runner into the box and a little bit better timing. I think that will help increase the scoring for this club.
Well, Jordan was playing the 9, so he was actually the one in the box. Yeah. What you needed was more either the midfield or somebody else coming in.
Yeah.
So, and Brian Spencer talked about he's going to evaluate whether to put Morris back on the wing. And then that way, and you mentioned, and Brian Spencer mentioned Abear, but what's your take on this? I keep asking.
Yeah, no, I'll bounce off the Jordan thing too. I think he still has heavy legs. I mean, he's a new father. Think about the goal he scored was in the 3rd minute in the last game, so he had that new dad energy for a minute, and now I think the fatigue is maybe catching up. Where this was it 2 weeks now until St. Louis, or a week? 2 weeks till St. Louis. I think he'll be a lot better in that one. But I agree. Raul, I think, is what you need back. Probably not going to get him back. But I'm very clear when I say I don't like Jordan at the 9. I like him on the wing a lot better. I think using his speed and his pace outside is what makes him a really good player. But, we'll see. Now you really want those points if you want to host, you want home field here. So it's going to be a big one, and hopefully everybody's rested and ready to go after it.
Yeah, we've got 2 weeks, and Vancouver beat St. Louis 3-0. So, the 21st is when that game is. But, the Sounders wrap up their home, the home portion of their schedule. And so the Carnations went out to all the fans and everything else. And, I think the draw is 0-0. But what I'd like to see, just in terms of, they're attacking, I think it's a transition. I think they're playing good defense. They're getting everybody back. They're getting that pass. And this week in practice, they worked on that. Getting that pass 6 seconds out. But what was missing again is that multiple choices. So they'll have some practice time to do that. So so the Sounders right now, they're currently in third place, and so they've got to win that game. All right. So one change you want to see in the St. Louis game.
I would like to see Rosnak in for Ladero again. That would be my first change I would make. I think Albert's proven to be the more dangerous 10 for this side. Nothing against Nico Ladero, but I think at his age and compared to the legs and skill set that Rosnak brings to the table, I think Rosnak gets the nod over Ladero at this point in time.
One change?
I'll be crazy. I want to see Jordan out on the wing. Abear, maybe start him up top. Just something different, just to get Jordan back into his natural spot and try to spark the offense again.
Kind of agree with that. I say bring in the little homie and take out the big homie. The little homie is Obed Vargas, and the big homie, as we talked about, is Josh Attention. Why? Because I think that he gives you a little bit more speed. I mean, I think if you're going to go front foot, then I would put in Obed. I think if you're going to go defensive and kind of absorb a little bit and go the other way, that's how I would do that. So, all right, fellas. So he's John Marshall, Radio Cascadia. He is Russell Brown for Seattle U, Cascadia Sportsnet, Lord knows who else and whatnot. That's what he does. And I'm Osvita Mario, CascadiaSports.net. Thanks for watching and listening.